All right, folks, back on the Bossman show with Coach Dr. Loeffler here, the Loyola Greyhounds here with me out of the Petri League. You see, man, that's great pull over there, Coach. How you doing, man? How's life up there in Baltimore?
It's good, man. I can't complain. We got a great summer here. It's a great city. Obviously, we got a lot going on with our program here, but hopefully we get to take some time too and enjoy an awesome city with a baseball team that's hot. Get down to Camden Yards and enjoy being in one of the better cities in America.
I hear that, man. And for you, well, tell me about this opportunity here at Loyola, because I feel like, man, Loyola is a great university, a great city. I use it John Hopkins as well, man. And about this opportunity here at Loyola to kind of get you guys going, man, and build this thing up the right way, brother.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, it's an awesome opportunity. It's a great place. The people here at Loyola are amazing, and the school is really just filled with great leadership. So I think we got a great opportunity here, and we're trying to get this thing going and build a team that can contend for championships in the Patriot League year after year.
And for you, how has it been trying to build a rapport with these young men? This new era we have of the transfer portal, man, is difficult. It's kind of like speed dating almost, man, trying to get guys to commit to you. So how was that process been trying to really vet out these young men and find the right fits for your program as you try to build this thing out in your first year there?
I mean, I think it's a great way to put it. Everything now is a little different than it was 5 years ago, even. Like, I mean, with the portal and some of the just the changing landscape. I think one of the things that we're trying to do is recruit people who we think fit. You don't always know that for a fact, but I think luckily for us in the spring, everybody that we brought in as a commitment in the spring, we had a connection to somebody, one of their coaches or their mentors or a parent, so everybody we brought in, we did have a connection to. And I think when you do that, you increase your ability to get to know the person and to make sure that you're getting a better full rounded picture of like who you're actually recruiting. Cause it can be really hard sometimes.
No doubt, man. And like you said, Coach, like you gotta know that in it for the right reasons too. Because and now with guys being about themselves more of their brand and more just in the team. So you gotta find out the right guys about team first and
Yeah,
not brand first.
no doubt. I mean, at the end of the day, all of us know that we're nothing without really good players, and it's about the players. It's about the student athletes. But the best part about team, the best part about sports is doing something that's bigger than yourself, right? So we always want to get guys in here who love team, who love their teammates, and want to be part of something bigger than just themselves.
No doubt, man. That's the part I miss about competition myself, being around the guys, their camaraderie. I still get a little bit with talking to guys like yourself every day here on these Zooms for the radio show, but getting in the mix and being around the guys' locker room, man, it's nothing like that feeling in that vibe.
Nothing, there's nothing like it. And anybody who's been a part of it, that's all. You're always trying to get that feel again, right? Like being on a great team that you love to be around. You want that for the rest of your life. So hopefully we can provide that, and that's why I'm in coaching, because I just want to be a part of that as often as I can.
And for you in your program, what are some the pillars of your program? Are you trying to that out kind of like not negotiables of your program? The pillars that these young men must strive by and abide by to be a part of this great Greyhound program.
Yeah, I mean, number one, just we're gonna have we need to have guys who are passionate about the game,
Oh yes.
and are who love to play and love to compete. We want to be the most competitive, and we want to have guys who are just, you know, really, really interested in getting better all the time and love to be in the gym working. I mean, it's about the work. It's about competing when you're in the gym and competing to get better. So I mean, that's going to be something that we're always pushing and trying to attract. We're going to have a high level of accountability. Guys are going to be told what they're expected to do, what the standard is, and when they meet the standard, they'll know it. And when they don't meet the standard, they'll know it. And we're going to work to meet that standard every day. And I think you can only have accountability like that if everybody knows that we're all in it for each other and we have great trust, that everybody trusts that we're all trying to make each other better and we have each other's backs. So really high level accountability and high level trust, I think, are what gets a team through really tough times.
And then something for you, coach, man. Are you going to be doing more like team concepts or more individual drills get the guys better, or kind of a little bit of both? Because with it being your first year, you kind of maybe want to get some things in, not everything, before you come back in the fall and get ready for practice in October, then the season come November the 4th.
I think you got to do both. I think we got to get some things in place so the guys have a sense early on of what we're building towards. When you're new, it's new for everybody. So
yeah.
we got to introduce some of that stuff so we can get going with it. But you don't want to do the same thing all year long. You don't want to have the same exact practice for the entire year. So, you got to build in some stuff that's a little different. And we never want to lose sight of the fact that, like, at the end of the day, you got to get players better. So it can't all be team stuff. You got to get players better. Number one, we owe it to them. Number two, when they get better, we'll get better as well. So we got to put some time into that individual development to make sure that everybody's better by the end of the day.
And it's great about it now. Back when you and I probably played, remember that great date of October 15th. That was the magic date. Now we ain't remember that no more.
Man, October 14th was like Christmas Eve. You're like ready to go now. Now players don't even know what the first practice day is. I don't even know what the first practice day is. I mean, you got to be really careful to not make this a 12-month season for these guys and burn them out. So I think one of the things that we can do is, if you can have different approaches to different times of the year, you keep it feeling fresh, but yeah, I kind of miss that idea of like, hey, this is practice number 1, October 15th. There was something special about that. I kind of miss it. I'm not going to lie.
It was what killed me was how coaches could not get on the floor with us, but the GAs could. It was so awkward and crazy. I could walk down to his office if I really wanted to. He can't get on the court with us.
Yeah. I mean, I think what we've made a lot of rules changes for the better, right? Like we have more access to the players. The players, like, they don't want to be suffocated by the coaches, but they want to get coached, and like they're coming here to get better. And then the other thing, I think we've improved the fact that, now you have more coaches who can be on the floor. Like, think about it, like how silly it is. Like, oh, that guy's over there, but all he can do is coach me from the sideline a little bit and keep the clock and then go make sure our meal's right. And that all that guy wants to do is go coach basketball. So I think some of the changes to allow for more coaching access on the floor has been great too. It just helps develop players better and helps develop coaches better.
You get up there, I should always think about, I was thinking, this is such a joke, man. Like, he can't be on the floor. This is a joke, man. Like, coach can't be on the floor, but okay, whatever. Even as a student athlete, I always like, so these are whacked out rules we have.
No doubt, man. No doubt.
And you know what I'm asking about a rule, man, that I really want to ask you about is the charge rule. But they don't give the secondary defenders a charge anymore. So how are you teaching them for us? Well, maybe going hands to the lights, maybe, but trying to be vertical, because you can't really just hope for it and get hit in the chest and get a call.
No, I mean, like, if you just fall down now, 99 times out of 100, they're going to call you for block. So, I think you just got to pay a lot more attention to verticality, teaching guys how to leave their feet, and like you said, hands to the light. You got to teach them how to be in your own space, and the teams that I think you can actually see it. There's teams that did a great job of that last year that never missed a beat defensively, really. And we get, as coaches, like, we used to celebrate the charge, right? You praise the guys who take a charge. Now you got to praise the guys who are doing the stuff right when they're getting vertical, because that's the most effective way to do it now.
No doubt to have that game plan, discipline. That's all that matters, man. Hands to the lights. We discipline the game plan. Hands to the lights, please.
No doubt, man. You don't even think about doing that, even if you get punched in the gut.
Not right? Even an inch.
That's what I get mad at, is like the refs will go like, well, his arms came down. I'm like, well, he got kicked in the gut. What do you want him to do? Like, my arms would come down too, man. Like, it's not his fault.
Exactly. It's a reflex, my guy.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we got to do all we got to do now is abs and jumping straight up and down. That way we never foul. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
No doubt. And man, ask about the analytics, man, and how you use it for your team, man. I know I love looking at analytics. I love looking at film and seeing, breaking down shot locations, hot zones, cold zones. So how do you use that for your team as a whole to kind of get better by showing what the numbers show to help them become
Yeah.
better players and develop off numbers that you present to your players, make them
Yeah, I
complete.
mean, I think that's the whole deal, right? Is like you got to use them that actually you got to use numbers in a way that actually helps your players change their behavior or reinforces the thing that you want, right? Because if you just show it to them and they don't get it, then who cares?
No doubt.
So you want to show them like, hey, like, and I think what we think of as analytics sometimes is just the shooting numbers and just this and just that. But one of the things that we've had great success with at other places I've been, like at Johns Hopkins, was we would chart rebounding really in a detailed manner, right? Like who boxed out, who missed box outs, and the numbers show it. Like if we boxed out 90% of the time, we were gonna kick your butt on the glass, and like the games where we didn't win war on the glass. So like it's easy to show guys like, hey, this is why we want you to do this. It's not because we're just creating this idea that you have to box out. It's when we do it, we win on the glass. When you win on the glass, you're going to win the game more often than not. So I think being able to show them some numbers, show them how it creates a winning habit, and then maybe even show them the film and be like, now look what it looks like when we don't do it. I think having all these different ways to show the players makes it so they'll remember it better and then do it more.
You better keep point about rebounding. I like to look at the film and see what team strategy for is rebounding is. Are they a crashing team? Are they seeing three, seeing two back, going
Yep.
forward, sitting? That's kind of inside basketball, but being you understand it. But
Yeah.
like I'm looking like, okay, what's the strategy on about rebounding? Are you gonna crash? You're gonna do this? You're gonna get back? Who you sending back in transition? So that's where my mind goes when I'm watching
Yeah,
film about strategy of
for sure.
rebounding.
And look at the NBA playoffs. Like, I mean, the New York Knicks essentially, I mean, it felt like they won the series against the Sixers just because they crashed so hard and got all those extra possessions. So you can see it and you're watching. You're like, man, this is pretty impactful. And you can see it in the NBA playoffs how important those possessions are.
Hey, Coach, man, let me ask you this question. I know how I have problems with it because I'm so into it. When you watch the NBA, do you get into your coaching bag in your mind and your mind keeps going? I know for me, I cannot look at it without going to strategy. I can't look at
I
it as just as a fan. Yeah, I go
I
into strategy.
I tell people that all the time because like when I was a kid, you just watch the game and be like, oh, that was cool. Look at that dunk, look at that move. Like, and then you go try and pass like magic out in the backyard. You know what I
Yes.
mean? And you get old, like you and I, you've been coaching, and like all of a sudden, like it's not as enjoyable, it's not as entertaining. You're watching going like, oh, I really like the way they set that screen, and that was a nice play, and oh man, like did you see the counter that they ran to this, and like that's not as fun to watch a game like that. I mean, I find it fun because it's the way what I put my mind into, but like if you love watching basketball as a fan, getting into it as a coach is a bad way to be a fan. Like you can't be a fan anymore. You got
You
to
can't,
analyze
man.
everything.
And I have a hard time going to the barbershop because those guys don't know basketball the way I do. I'm serious. I'm like,
Well, imagine to think about it like this. Like I get everything at the barbershop. I get like when they hear you're a coach, they just want to ask you every question known to man. Like some of them are good, most of them are bad. And then the worst thing is when like someone has no idea about sports and you go like, yeah, well, I coach, and they go, oh, well, what's your full-time job? Or like, what do you do in the off season? Like, like I'm out here doing this just like every now and then after I get done my 9 to 5, but they don't know. It's just really funny.
it was funny. I said, you know what an action is? What you mean an action? Action. You know what a zoom is? A ghost, a reject, a
No, I mean
stain.
you might as well be speaking French. They don't.
Yes. It's why, like, if you can't tell me that, you can't talk about ball with me. It's why I tell them in the barbershop.
I love that. I love that. That's great. Unless you know what these things are, don't come at me with your opinion.
I said, do you know what the strong side even is?
I love it. I love it.
And so that's why I go to that coach. I go to the barbershop 7 in the morning. So I got to deal
Yeah,
with too
no
many
one's
idiots.
there. No one's there. Like, got you. Maybe first takes on, and you just get your hair cut and watch that, right?
Yes,
Like.
it's me and the elders. I'm just the first one there. And they don't care about basketball. They just
Yeah,
happy to see me.
that's great. That's great.
And Coach Baskets, man, for you, scheduling games is probably your second hardest job, man. And how has it been trying to get games? for you guys with that, we know being a Petro League, can't really get too many home games. They kind of play MCEs and 2-for-1s. How's that been for you, man?
You know, you don't get a ton of home games. So like fine, it's bad too. You call everybody, you're like, hey, you need a game, and everybody in the country saying the same thing. Oh yeah, I need a home game. Like, well, no stuff. Everybody needs a home game, right? So like it's almost like you're playing a game of chicken with the other coaches. Like, who's gonna flinch and say they'll go on the road first? But you know, the one thing, boss man, the one thing about scheduling right now for me is we only won 7 games last year before I got here. So there's a lot of teams that want to play Loyola right now. So like, I mean,
so you're very popular right now.
We got to change that. I want to be less popular in the scheduling season moving forward. That's what I want. I want fewer people trying to play me is what I'm trying to say.
I feel you, man. I feel you. I tell you what, hey, I can only imagine how blows your phone blew up when you got the job. hey, coach, we'd love to play you, man. Let me see your schedule.
Yeah, would love to play you. We got to change that narrative.
You got there right. I'm gonna try to help you do that, brother. I'm gonna try to.
I appreciate.
I'm gonna try to help you, man. And let me ask you this, man. For you, when you decided you want to get into coaching, man? I know for me, I do it on a volunteer basis. So I know I couldn't do it full time because I'm too intense. But for you, when you decided you want to get into it, man?
You know, I think if you ask my parents, they kind of always knew I might get into coaching, even if I didn't. You know what I mean? Because I mean, it's the best sport, man. Basketball. All my memories as a kid were my first memories were in the gym. You know, I was fortunate to grow up around the game. You know, my dad ran the rec league. He was a high school coach. So just being around basketball all the time. And then, you know, I was in college and I was a pretty good student. I went to a good school and a lot of my friends were getting, you know, really high powered jobs in banking and finance. And I thought maybe, you know, like I should have interviewed for those things too. A good friend of mine was like, man, you don't want to do this. Like you've never shown any interest in this. Like do what you want to do. Like, and I realized like, if I got to chase what I love and give it a go. And if it doesn't work out, I can always go back and get like a real job. But, you know, I had some people who were like, yo, give it a shot. You love hoops. It's what you've always talked about. You love the most, like give it a shot and let's see if it can work. And I'm glad I did it.
Man, what you said, man, I knew I didn't want to have a real job. So this radio thing had to work out for me, man.
There you go. Yeah. You and I are probably the same now. Like we don't have any real skills anymore. Like I can't go get a different job at this point. This is what I got to do.
If it doesn't have to do with a radio or a keyboard or a mouse pad or doing the sound, I'm screwed. That's all I can do. That's all I can do now, man. Like I'll tell you this quick story. My first gig was on the radio from 2 to 6 in the morning. And people would marvel. It's like, you got coach coming on your show at 3 in the morning. If you believe that, I'll let you go with that.
Yeah. Hey man, fake it till you make it.
They were pre-recorded, but like, you got a coach to join you on the show at 3 in the morning? Yeah, I sure did.
You got some oceanfront property in Arizona. You're gonna sell them too. You know, like
exactly.
They believe anything.
It was so funny, man. People actually thought I had people guests coming on that late at night. Like,
love it.
If you believe it, I'm gonna go with it. You win.
Keep it going, man. That's right.
Yeah, this for me, coach. This is year 15 of your show, man. Year 15.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
So yeah, man. I've been doing this 15 years, man. So I love it. Like I said, I couldn't do nothing else but radio and probably coach basketball.
Not a bad gig if you can get it. Not a bad gig if you can get it.
No doubt, with Coach, man. It's fun to chat with you, man. I'm glad I get this job, man. I want to send you on the live period, man. We got to stay in contact, man. I'm so out there, man. I'm going to help you out any way I can, brother.
Well, I appreciate you having me, and I look forward to seeing you at some of these events. And keep us in mind if you need to fill some airtime in the future too.
I sure will, brother. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you.